Maria Sharapova secretly funded 13-year-old Alexa. Years later, Eala's bold tribute stuns a tennis world. The morning sun spilled across the clay court of Mallorca, painting everything in soft amber. A 13-year-old Alexandra Eala, small, determined, and barefoot, was practicing alone. The other trainees had gone for lunch, but she stayed. Sweat beat on her forehead. Her forehand cracked through the air with a sharp sound of raw ambition. She didn't know anyone was watching her. From a balcony above the court, Maria Sharapova, the retired legend whose name was synonymous with grace and grit, stood quietly, her eyes following every swing. She'd come to the Rafa Nadal Academy that week for a mentoring event. Most players seemed eager to impress her, but this Filipino girl wasn't even aware she was there. Kurova watches Alex hit ball after ball, her face filled with hunger, not arrogance. The kind she recognized, the kind that had once burned in her own chest when she was that age, training on the Florida sun with nothing but a dream. Later that day, Sharapova asked one of the academy's coaches, "Who is that girl? The one with a fire in her eyes?" The coach smiled. "That's Alex Eala, a raw talent from the Philippines. She's brilliant, but her family stretching themselves thin to keep her here." Maria paused, her gaze softening. "She reminds me of someone I used to know." The next morning, she made a quiet call. No headlines, no cameras, just an anonymous wire transfer to the Rafa Nadal Academy. Funds allocated under the name as foundation, enough to cover Alex's next few years of training, equipment, and travel. Maria never mentioned it again, and Alex never knew the climb. Years passed. Alex grew stronger both in game and spirit. Her name began to appear in junior tournaments across Europe. Small headlines first, then big ones. Filipina teen stuns top seed. Eala wins ITF crown. Future star in the making. She trained harder than ever, but behind her success were sacrifices few people saw. Her parents juggled expenses. Sponsors came and went, and she often skipped comforts others took for granted. Yet somehow, when things got tough, when they couldn't afford new rackets, when travel seemed impossible, help would arrive at the last moment. A silent donor, the academy said. Alex used to wonder about it. She'd ask, "Coach, who supported me?" The answer was always the same: "Someone who believes in you." She imagined it was some tennis foundation, maybe Raf himself. She never thought of Maria Kurova, the icy queen who had once ruled Wimbledon with her elegance and power. Still, Alex carried a poster of Sharapova in her locker. It wasn't hero worship. It was respect for the fighter she was, for her ability to turn adversity into victory. It wasn't until 5 years later, when Alex was 18, that their paths crossed again. It was at the WTA Madrid Open, Alex's first major wild card entry. She had fought through the qualifiers, earning a chance to stand among the elite. On media day, she walked into the players' lounge, heart pounding, camera flashes exploding around her. And there, sitting by the window with a cup of coffee and an aura of calm confidence, was Maria Sharapova. Alex froze. Maria looked up, smiled faintly, and said, "You must be Alex." "Why, yes, I can't believe you know my name." "I've known for a long time," Maria replied cryptically. "I've watched your matches. You play with conviction." Alex blushed, unsure what to say. "I grew up watching you. You were everything." Maria stood, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Then make sure you become even more." There was something in her tone like a mentor's pride, but also a secret she wasn't ready to reveal. The revelation. Weeks later, Alex was back in the Philippines for a short break when she received a message from her academy's director. "Alex, I think it's time you knew something." He handed her a folder. Inside were receipts, letters, and documents, records of funding over the years. Every single one was signed by AS Foundation, and attached to one was a short, handwritten note: "Keep your fire alive. One day you'll understand why I believe in you." Ms. Alex's breath caught. MS. Maria Sharapova. Her mind spun back through the years, the unexpected funding, the quiet encouragement, the mysterious ability that allowed her to train freely. It had all been Maria. Tears welled in her eyes. She whispered to herself. All this time she was there. The tribute. Alex didn't post about it. She didn't want to. Not yet. Instead, she kept training, driven now by a deeper fire. Years later, at 21, Alex, made her Grand Slam debut at the Australian Open. The tennis world had begun to take notice. Commentators praised her poise, her balance, her unrelenting determination. In one of her post-match interviews, a journalist asked, "You often talk about people who've inspired you. Who's the one person who shaped your journey the most?" Alex smiled, eyes gleaming. "Someone who believed in me before I believed in myself." She never asked for credit, never wanted thanks. "But this win," she said, raising her racket, "this is for her." The room fell silent. No one knew what she meant. Not yet. The tribute goes public. The mystery deepened when Alex posted a photo after a match. A sleek black and white shot. Her racket with MS etched near the handle. Beside the words, "Thank you for seeing me when I was invisible." Social media erupted. Fans speculated wildly. Who is MS? A letter never sent. Later that night, in her hotel room, Alex took out a folded piece of paper, one she'd written years ago, back when she didn't know who her anonymous supporter was. It read, "To whoever you are, thank you. You've changed my life in ways I can never repay. I don't know your name, but I promise I'll make it matter." She smiled softly and tucked the letter back into her journal. Now she knew the name. Now she'd made it matter. The circle closes. A decade after that first secret donation, Alex walked once more onto the clay courts of Morca, the same place it all began. The sun was setting, the air warm and golden. Beside her stood a group of young girls holding rackets far too big for their hands, their eyes full of wonder. Maria watched from the sidelines just as she had all those years ago. Alex tossed a ball to one of the girls and said, "Let's start with your forehand. Believe me, it's the first thing that teaches you confidence." The girl smiled shyly. "Like you?" Alex laughed. "Exactly like me." Maria's heart swelled with quiet pride. She turned to leave, the sun dipping behind her. The torch had been passed. The power of quiet kindness. The world of tennis will remember many champions. Those who lifted trophies, broke records, and dazzled crowds. But some legacies, the most powerful ones, were built quietly in gestures unseen in lives transformed. Maria Sharapova had given the world 5 Grand Slam titles. But perhaps her greatest victory was the one she never took credit for, the rise of Alex Eala. And Alex in turn carried forward that same spirit of giving, proving that greatness when shared multiplies. As she once said in an interview years later, "Maria didn't just believe in me. She reminded me that the truest champions aren't the ones who stand alone. They're the ones who lift others up to stand beside them." And with that, both women left behind something far more enduring than trophies. They left behind hope. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share.